Yay! Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Q4 edition of the Element 11 Town Hall. We are in Q4 2024, and this is our virtual town hall. Thank you all for joining. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started really quickly. You may notice a couple of new faces here with us today. So just wanted to introduce those new people. So first we have Eric. Eric will be joining us as our new operations director. Jared Decker is rolling off, and Eric will be replacing him. We also have Lisa. Lisa is joining us as our new financial director. Cam is changing positions in the organization, and yes, Cam. So speaking of, this is my last town hall. I am rolling off of the board of directors at the end of this year, so thank you all for the many years of the privilege of being on the board of directors. Cam is taking over. CJ, I suppose CJ, you go back. CJ is taking over as the chairman of the board of directors. So I'm now, since he's taken over, I'm gonna give it to him.
Cool.
Here you're going to have the agenda.
All right. So the first thing I wanted to mention was our blog post about a potential venue change. So we're looking at options. If you want more information, go ahead and read the blog post, and feel free to reach out if you have any suggestions. The next thing is the dates. We also had a blog post about our dates moving to the fourth weekend of June. And after working with Box Elder County Fire, we have determined that it's in our best interest to keep our dates the week after Father's Day in order for us to be able to have a burn and the event goes smoothly. So we'll have another blog post announcing that coming up in the next week to clarify the dates are returning to the weekend after Father's Day. And as I'm leaving the finance director position, I just wanted to give a quick briefing about our financials from this past year. Thankfully, we came in a little under budget. We were expecting to go over budget just with the cost of everything rising, but we saved some money where we could, and we're in a good position for next year. There will also be more information in our afterburn report, which is, I believe, published.
It's available, yeah.
Is already available. And that was all for me.
Man, that was quick. How efficient of you. So just want to talk about, because of the increased costs that we have had kind of an ongoing conversation in the board of ticket prices. We understand that the community, we understand that the ticket prices where they're at, we try not to raise them every year in order for us to have the, I suppose, correct amount of wiggle room, I suppose, for our budget for this year. And with the increase of costs that we'll be having, that we know are already coming down the pipeline for next year, we are increasing the cost of tickets by $25 for the 2025 event. That means that the price of the standard ticket will be $275. Vehicle passes are going to remain the same. We are also, though, keeping the low-income ticket prices the same. So those will be $125, and we are also going to reduce the cost of child tickets. So between the ages of 4 to 17, those will be half-price tickets instead of three-quarter cost. So they'll be $137.50 or $138, something like that. So that is the costs. We did the projections on it. That should give us a good kind of baseline for falling within our budget and how things are going to turn out next year. So Next item on the agenda.
Tom.
Tom.
Great. Wanted to make sure everybody knows that the theme for 2025 is Neon Nexus. We are running our theme art contest right now. It runs until January 18th. We'd love to have you guys submit some really cool art for us to put on our tickets and shirts and kind of all over the event. And that also comes with the, I believe, one free ticket, yes?
Theme art, I believe, is the art is two.
Okay.
2 tickets. For
Two
the
tickets.
art. Yeah.
To the event. If you are able to submit theme art and we pick it for next year, that will be what you receive. The other thing we wanted to announce is that our art grant applications will open on the 30th of this month. So coming up here in not very long. They'll be open for a little less than a month. We haven't actually set a closing date yet. So get your ideas together so we can get the grants in, and hopefully we'll be doling out a bunch of money to you guys. That's kind of it.
How much money are we giving out?
I think it's the same as last year, right?
100K.
Yes. So we have $100,000 for art this year, and that does include the temple. And yeah, so it's quite a bit of money. I think the results were evident last year that we had a pretty solid art budget. So yeah, get your ideas ready.
Perfect.
Cool.
Okay, so we've heard some feedback. We are going to host the next town hall in person. The date is March 16th. We're going to plan around 2 p.m. Location is going to be TBA. We're hopefully going to use the UAA. Hopefully that'll be the easiest option. And then we're going to do a St. Patty's theme, so everybody come dressed up. Otherwise, you'll get pinched. And we're going to do a potluck as well. So we just want to be able to, we need to cultivate more of these town halls to be more of a community focus. We want all of you to come and join us. We want to be able to talk and reminisce and things like that, but we need to have attendance. If we don't have attendance, then we can't have in-person town halls as often as we want to. So
Drag your friends. Drag your friends.
drag your friends, let them all know. So I'm telling you right now, I remind you several times until then, March 16th, in person, next town hall. Okay? With that, that's all that I have.
Do you have questions?
Let's see, questions. Will the next town hall be in person? Got that. Let's see. Why are we wanting to move from a place that we've been able to grow? It seems that if we need more money, we need more people, and we need a larger venue.
I'll be happy to answer that. So, the reason why we are looking to move ultimately comes down to financials. As the organization, it's our responsibility and our role to provide a venue for the community to hold an event. With the distance that Stargazer is from services, we have to pay the county for those. And unfortunately, the county's costs have gone up substantially over the past 3.5 years, 4 years. They've increased by about 300%. So, we are now paying triple the cost, or would that be quadruple? I don't know. It's quadruple the cost of what we were 4 years ago, which, it's in order to maintain the health of the community. The reason we can't instead just sell more tickets to the event is it has to do with the fact that we don't have the volunteer base to support a larger community. Speaking of, actually, one thing I forgot to mention with the tickets is our population is the same as last year. We are going to be selling 2,200 tickets, and if we want to increase the population, we need to increase our volunteer base. If we want to grow the event in that way, it's totally possible. We just need more people involved in the to help out with it.
You should talk about how much volunteering for discounted tickets, like how many hours.
Sure. So the What?
I said Jordan knows that, not me.
Yeah, so the discounts that you can get for volunteering, if you volunteer a minimum of 5 hours, you are guaranteed a full price ticket the following year. It's a very minimal commitment in order to, in case tickets sell out, which they have been every year, make sure that you can get a ticket. If you volunteer for 10 hours, then you get a 3/4 price ticket, 25% off. 20 hours will give you a 50% discount, and then 35 hours will give you a free ticket and a free vehicle pass. So that is the breakdown of what you get as far as tickets. There's also a ton of other benefits that we give our volunteers. Lots and lots of stuff. You get food, you get swag, cool volunteer shirts.
You get to meet more people.
You meet more people, and you also get to help the event continue to happen.
Cool. Another question that came in is, do you provide harm reduction / support area, or does the county, and is that somebody can volunteer for?
Take that, Janice.
So what we do provide is we have sanctuary, and it's not necessarily harm reduction. It is a place that a participant can go if things are just becoming overwhelming for them during the event, a place where they can kind of chill until they can acclimate back out into the community. We do have training on harm reduction, the things that we need to do in those areas. But as far as professional services, we leave that up to the county and the professionals, not people at the event. But if you would like to volunteer with that and to help and to look at a program that maybe we can have, please reach out to me. My email is janice@element11.org.
Cool. Let's see, another question. This might already be in the blog post, but they're curious about the infrastructure that Element 11 has spent money on to permanently be at Stargazer. Is that money get lost if we decide to move to a different venue?
Oh,
I can answer that.
you want to
too.
answer that, please?
Yeah, okay, so what we have purchased, what we have funded are the 2 buildings that we utilize for medical and sanctuary, or medical and rangers. In all honesty, those are permanent structures for Stargazer. We looked at the return on investment for us and having to rent offices over the course of time. And to tell you the truth, this year we'll have paid off the costs that we paid for those buildings to be built, compared to having to rent those buildings. So our return on investment is already in the green after 2025.
Yeah, we're not losing any money.
Yeah, we're not losing any money. We didn't sink any money into something that we don't have a return on.
Yeah.
Another question is, once you have to pay the same county fees next year, the same fees
Not if we're in a different county that's incorporated.
incorporated. Okay.
Yeah.
But if we are in the same county, then yes.
Yes.
Well, if we're in the same county in a
In the
similar
same
area,
area.
the problem.
Yeah,
so the
that's true.
problem is
We're too far away.
yeah. So ultimately, the problem is that the closest services in Box Elder County. First off, Box Elder County is the largest county in Utah, and the closest services in Box Elder County is Tremonton. And honestly, the people who actually come to the event to provide services from the county, most of them are from.
From Tremont.
Are they from Tremont?
Yeah,
I thought they were from.
No, the
okay.
girl that patched up my broken ankle this last year, also volunteered at the medical tent. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So they're from Tremonton, which is what, an hour and a half away? Yeah, an hour and a half away from the venue. So the cost of really comes down to the fact that we have to rent equipment from the county in order to cover ourselves in case there's some sort of an emergency that happens, and we also have to pay for the staffing costs of the county. We have to pay for the staffing costs for those those people who would otherwise be off work, or we're literally paying contractors to come out and cover us for the
They're not
services that we need.
volunteers.
They're not volunteers. Yeah.
Other than that one question from the very, very beginning that I talked about, that's all of them.
Do you want to say that question? Was it a question?
Let's see, it was, so the feedback about the BOD engaging with the community and being part of the community versus like us setting up an infrastructure, and how we are represented, whether that's as BOD or as part of the community or a little bit of both.
So yeah, the board of directors we're the ones who run the Element 11 organization. The organization is responsible for providing the logistics for the community to hold the event. The board of directors is part of the community, but we are the ones who are responsible for maintaining stewardship and running the organization, which provides the venue and the logistics for the event itself. But ultimately, it is the community who provides the event. We are part of the community. We definitely, most of us here are heavily involved in theme camps, if not all of us, I'm thinking.
Or rangers.
Or rangers, or volunteering in some capacity. So, we are definitely part of the community. However, as an organization, it is the organization's role to provide the venue itself.
See, another question that just came in is, how can you guarantee the next county won't increase their fees and therefore be the same price as Box Elder?
So again, this has to do with distance.
Yeah.
It has to come down. It comes down to the fact that we have to pay them to come and be there. So if we can find an area that's close enough to where emergency services can be available without having to pay for additional coverage, then that's the ideal solution.
We're not gonna call 911 and wait an hour and a half for an ambulance to come.
Yeah.
That's why Box Elder is there. The same thing with the fire. With the fire, there's a chance of wildfires, right? So for us to have any type of burn, we have to have fire there. So that costs money, and we pay their payroll. If we were in an incorporated area that had a fire department, they would only be on site during the burn, and that would be part of the permit. That is how it was in the past. So that is also something we take into consideration when looking at venues, is what kind of services are we going to have to pay for and what we can utilize ourselves.
Are there any services we get from Stargazer that we would have to pay for at another venue?
So no, that's part of our contracted services. So by moving the venue, so we pay Stargazer for the work of the development of the land that they do each year to make sure that we can hold the event, and any place that we would move, we would have a similar type of contract where the owners we would work closely with to make sure that any sort of services to provide the same level of access and resources would still be there.
I'd like to also just reiterate that we're considering options. We haven't made any hard decision on moving venues.
Thinking about the future. What could change, what could not change, so. Well, that's all we got.
Cool. Can we get a list of the people who are here so we can do our raffle? So this raffle is for a total of
We have everyone from chat. I don't know if you were...
2 tickets and 2 people.
I don't have a list of people who are watching.
I'll continue with the rules of this. So just closed it. Son of a gun. So it is 1 ticket each for 2 individuals.
Chat.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Vehicle pass not included.
Okay.
Use.
I'm putting we don't have a list yet. I'm having everyone put their name in the chat.
Okay, cool, perfect. If you stuck with us for these last 22 minutes, thank you.
Another question did come in.
Oh, cool. What's up?
What will be the cost to move everything from Stargazer, and how much will year-round storage cost?
That is something that we definitely have an ongoing conversation about. We're talking about that. That's why, it may not make sense for us to move, or it might. We're considering all options. We're considering, if we do move, what are the additional costs that we need to do? What sort of infrastructure exists at Stargazer that we're going to have to either replace or rebuild? What sort of storage costs are there going to be for year-round storage? There's a lot that there's a lot of moving parts and a lot to consider. So it's definitely all on our radar of all of the things that we're looking at.
Yeah, definitely a lot to consider, which makes it a difficult decision, but we'll continue to listen to the community and make that decision. We can't say that it's going to happen for 2026. We don't know. It's just trying to think ahead.
I missed over a question. It is, don't we have a significant amount in savings account to cover the cost of services?
Yes, we do. Absolutely. We have a significant amount of money in our savings to cover, things that might come up. The question is, though, is like if we start dipping into that every year, then eventually that's going to run dry. It is our responsibility to maintain the health financially of the organization.
Yeah, and the way we operate is every year that you buy a ticket for that year's event, it's essentially a donation to the organization to hold a future event, so the following year's event. So that's kind of how we operate, is the current year is saving money for the following year.
That's also why you don't have to pay sales tax for your ticket.
16.
Did you count those other names?
There's a couple names in here. All right, it's 2 tickets, right?
Yeah, 2 people. I have a randomizer up.
I just
Yeah.
need 2 numbers.
Oh, 2 numbers?
Yeah, so 1 through 16. It's 1 through 16. I need 2 numbers from
8.
Give me a second.
12.
And
Stu?
Jordan, what's
Hang
yours?
on. True random number generator. 16, you said? 16 people? Okay. So first one is 3.
Okay, that's it. I did the other one. It's 3
Oh.
and 12.
3 and 12. Okay, perfect.
So who was the
12 is Marissa Moody.
Okay, who was
What was it, 10?
3?
3? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let me grab those really quick.
Who are the names?
So we have Tara Steyerman.
Tara what?
Steyerman.
Steyerman? Tara Steyerman.
And Marissa Moody.
And Marissa Moody.
Yay!
Tell them to email tickets down and let them know.
Please, in order to claim your tickets,
Can you go back?
this is very important, send an email to tickets@element11.org. Do so as soon as possible.
Steyerman.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Anything else?
Question about who negotiates with the county, but I feel like that's covered in the blog post.
Yeah, we don't have any
There's
negotiation.
no negotiation.
It's a government entity. We can't negotiate with them.
There you go.
We pay their cost of payroll.
Yeah.
They're not making any money off of us.
Yeah, it's yeah, and it's like if we were to negotiate those costs, it would be literally us trying to negotiate to pay the county employees less, which is something we're not going to do. Cool. All right. Any other last questions? Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining. And next town hall.
Oh, one question did come in.
Oh.
Are we doing an effigy burn this year?
Ooh, good question.
TBD.
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 We'd like to.
We're gonna keep
Definitely-
you on your toes.
We're definitely talking about it, so it's on the table.
We have not decided what the effigy is going to look like for next year. So
Cool.
That's it.
awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming,
Thank you.
everyone. I'll
Thanks.
play the
Thank
video
you.
one last time. And